We brought Mayor Alameda and his administrative team tonight for this community talk story session. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to your mayor, Mayor Kimo Alameda.
All right. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Laupahoehoe gym. Wow. How old is this gym, Auntie Lucille? About 40 years old, 30 years old, this gym. 1939. Wow, 1939, this gym. Okay, I see some holes in the back over there. We gotta fix those holes. I saw them already. That was the first thing Auntie said. She said, Kimo, come, I'll like show you. See that hole? Unacceptable. So I said, you cannot have a hot dog until you promise you're gonna fix them. So, yeah, I see one over here. Well, that's one of the purposes of doing these talk stories, yeah? Is so that I can bring out our staff and we can see the community. So we try to get our meetings at our county facilities. Forces us to go look, the bathrooms over there, the pavilion. I love this park, always did. It's a beautiful park. I think our Parks Division doing a pretty good job at keeping it like that. I don't know if they just did them because they knew it was coming. I'm not sure, but looks good, looks good. So thank you so much. This is our, I like to say, like 16th town hall. We've been at this for going on 7 months. Right around the island we went. This is the last one. So our plan is to just collect as much information as we can and then just start working for you folks. You know, so every time we get on town hall, we get on a list of 5, 10 things we got to do. We had a town hall last week, Wednesday, at Keaʻau, and one of the big issues was they wanted to pave Honokaʻa. When you go to the beach, bus out. So there's some of the things that we can do immediately. Some things might take us a little bit longer. That's something that our Public Works Department, Neil Acevedo and his crew felt like they could do immediately. So, kind of amazing. So that they started on, I think it was like Tuesday or Monday, and they're going to be finished tomorrow. So that's done. And so there's so many projects like that. We've been really fortunate to have a real good team. So thank you so much for those who voted for me. Hey, right on, good choice. If you never vote for me, well, hey, still yet, we're on the same team now. And so our job is just to work hard for you and convince you that we deserve another 4. If we cannot convince you of that, that's what the democratic process is about, and you can vote for the other guy. But we're working hard, and we're going to ensure that we do everything we can for every single community. So we're happy about fixing the Laupahoehoe pool. So that was a check off that was important to us. Papaoloa Gym wanted to continue that promise that was made in the previous administration. So they're breaking ground and they're moving forward with that. Okay, we know that we got roads to pave and lines to make straight on the road and trees to trim and such. So, and those things, bridges, so we have a list on that, but tonight we get to hear from you if there's other, to-dos. Just so you know, so we get about 20 departments, and we break them up in pods. So one pod is public safety, police, fire, civil defense, prosecutor's office, animal control, liquor control. So kind of like being the mayor's liaison for that pod is Cliff Victorine. He's in the back over there. Cliff is in the mayor's office. So if you cannot get in touch with any other the chief of police or the fire chief or the animal control director, you just call up mayor's office, ask for Cliff. You can air your complaint that way if there's a complaint or a suggestion, and he'll get it to the public safety pod. Because myself, I'm the mayor, but my managing director is Bill Brahante, worked under 8 mayors, been in the county as a firefighter, and I'm in corp counsel, HR, so it's plenty of institutional knowledge, very lucky to have him. And then my deputy is Merrick Nishimoto. He's from Kona, he's an engineer. So, he brings that building knowledge to our team. So anything to do with planning department, public works, environmental management, water, he's kind of the liaison for that pod. Bill's the liaison for all the departments that help the other departments, like IT, HR, finance, research and development. And then the last department pod is what I call human services. So it's Parks and Recreation. So they provide services, housing, transportation, Office of Aging. And overseeing that is Aaron Samura. Is Aaron someplace? Oh, Aaron's back there. So Aaron's our mayor's office again. If you cannot get in touch with anybody in those human services, you call the mayor's office, you ask for Aaron. Okay? And then I have a team, real fast. I get every social media post is being helped by Tracy Naimi. He's behind the camera right there. So every Friday, thank you, Tracy. Every Friday, we have an update. So all you gotta do, if you like to see what the county is doing and how your taxpayers' dollars getting used, just go on our Instagram, Facebook. I post about as much as I can within 90 seconds. Because attention span faster nowadays. And so, but there's a lot that I can get in, okay? And that's real time, that's live and direct, right there. Never any administration has done that before, where every Friday you get updates like that. Okay, Tracy does that. Boards and commissions, if you ever want to join a board or a commission, Micah Alameda, Micah's back there. He's our board and commission guy. He'll get you the application, and we do have vacancies, so, okay? And then we get our front office. If you walk in there and you see Damien Williams back there, he'll greet you with a smile. He might sing you your song. Okay, no, so here's our front office. And then we get our press release, any kind of written information. That's Tom Callis. He's back there. He worked for the Tribune Herald. Very fortunate to have him as well. And then we get sister cities, and then all these town halls kind of being supported by Malia Lewis. Thank you, Malia, back there. And then, of course, we get Karen that's also helping too. So we have a team, okay? And our team here, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is like the best team. I think I put this team amongst any other administration. They work well together. They like each other. If not, they pretend to like each other. No, I mean, they work well together. They talk, they can agree to disagree. So like if New has a project that involves Parks and Recreation, because Public Works and Parks, hey, Clayton and Neo, they work well together. They don't gotta get my permission, boom, they just start solving that problem. If we get a question about finance, they ask Diane, right? If we need to hire folks, they go to Summer, they ask HR, how can we speed this up? So they work really well together. Our police chief works really well with our fire chief, who might be coming. Okay, good. So the rule is, hey, if you cannot be here, then at least send your deputy. So we get the deputy here. So like I said, we really, really work well together. And so I'll turn it over to our team to introduce themselves, and then we'll do a Q&A. And the questions is real simple. I'm just gonna start from here. And if you have a question, so here's the rule. You cannot ask 2 questions unless everybody else get one chance to ask 1 question. So we give everybody 1 chance, yeah? Because what I'm finding on these town halls is one person get 10 questions. And by the time it's like half an hour went past. I was like, well, what about everybody else? So 1 question at a time. We'll come back to you, okay? And so we'll go this way, 1 question. And what I'm learning in these town halls is that most of you really don't have questions. You just get statements. You came, you have an opinion. You just state that opinion and you want us to know about it. And that's okay too. Okay, so we just make note and we'll move forward on that. Okay, so that's how we'll do it tonight. We'll go for 1 hour straight. It's an hour and a half about, so the last half hour, we'll break, we'll stop, you can go eat, and that gives you a chance to talk to any one of them individually. Maybe you have a question for the police, but you didn't get a chance to ask it. Hey, in that last half hour, you can go to Chief Ben and you can ask him that question. Okay, so we want to save half hour for one-on-one. Maybe you have a question for me. Okay? So we'll do it like that. So how about we ask, Talmadge, introduce yourself.
Yes. Aloha, I am Talmadge Magno, Civil Defense Administrator.
Hi, Craig Kawaguchi, Deputy Director, Environmental Management.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Diane Nakagawa, Finance. Hi, everyone. I'm Summer Tokihiro, Director of Human Resources.
Hi everyone, Clayton Honma, Director Parks and Recreations. With me I have Melissa Samura, Deputy Director Parks and Recreation.
Hi everybody, Keith Okamoto, Water Supply, and we have our Deputy Kavika Uehara over there, and a couple of our great team sitting in the audience as well.
Aloha everyone, my name is Jeff. I'm with the Planning Department, and with me tonight is our Deputy Planning Director, Michelle Ahn, and also Planning Program Manager, Bethany Morrison.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Merrick Nishimoto. I'm the Deputy Managing Director out of West Hawaii.
Good evening again. Bill Brahanti, Managing Director.
Good evening, Neil Azevedo, Acting Director for Public Works.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthias Cush. I'm the District 1 representative, your state legislator, and I'm grateful for Kimo and his team allowing me to kind of jump into these meetings. I won't say too much here, but I spent 25 years with all these folks in the county, so at home. But I hope to answer any questions. I have some cards if you guys want to contact me, my office. We've really been working hard to resolve things that's related to the state, like on the highways. And I hope to be of service to you tonight. Feel free to contact me afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Renee Schoen with the Office of the Corporation Counsel.
Aloha, everyone. Jay Yoshimoto, Assistant Corporation Counsel.
Hi, I'm Wes Segawa, Director of Environmental Management, and I'd like to introduce our Chief Solid Waste back there, Mike Rivero.
Aloha, Laura Ocasio, Administrator for Office of Sustainability, Climate Equity, and Resilience.
Aloha, my name is Corey Stone, Director of Information Technology.
Aloha, I'm Kea'au Costa, Housing Administrator, and our Assistant Housing Administrator, Keiko Mercado, is in the back.
Good evening, I'm Zach Burgum, Acting Administrator for Mass Transit Agency.
Good evening, I'm Ben Moskowitz, the Chief of Police, and my backup is here as well, the Commander of the Hamakua District and the Waimea District as well.
Hi, everybody. My name is Daniel Volpe. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief, Hawaii Fire Department.
All right, so that's our team, and I'm so proud of them. This is on their own time. You know, they're not getting paid extra or overtime, and they've done this 16 times. And so that's why I say this team is super committed. I just feel blessed as the mayor, because there's got so much things getting done. And everybody's like, oh, thank you, mayor. I'm like, no, thank me, thank them. I just connecting the dots. I hear the complaints, I share it, they get it done. This is an awesome, awesome team. So we got solid waste. I know we get the solid waste transfer station, Laupahoehoe, we're working on that. We're working on getting our hours back to how it was pre-COVID, right? So we're working on that. We got to hire staff for that. So we got a lot to work on. All right, so we'll do a Q. If you got a question, or we got our county council rep. So Heather Kimball. Hi, Heather. Want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. You recognize me mostly. Heather Kimball, Hawaii County Council. Also the purveyor of hot dogs tonight. If you are hungry, I have a couple hundred hot dogs I refuse to take home. So please come and grab one before you leave.
Thank you, Heather. So yeah, so any questions, because the mayor, to make a decision, you need like 10 people, 9 county council members and the mayor. Ultimately, at the end, once we get all your input and everything. So that's why county council is super important. And then when it comes to state issues, people don't know jurisdiction, yeah? They say, how come the highway? Why you don't fix them? I'm like, because that's a state highway. So some questions might be state related, and I'm so happy that Matthias is here to help us with that too. So this is real, so we have our team, the cabinet, and then we get just government working really well together. With county council, we work really well together. The state, so we get chemistry. Right now, I feel like we have a good momentum, good rhythm going. So, all right, questions or statements? We'll start from here, and I'll paraphrase your question, and then we'll go from there. So just please raise your hand. Go, man. Okay. All right, Papaaloa Road. Neil, you ever, let's ask Public Works. So you know what she's talking about, the upper part. She's a big turn. She might need a sign. And what do you want the sign to say? Oh.
I'll look into that. I'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So this is for our deputy chief. So she said that, if they call an ambulance, sometimes it's hard to respond because it's hard to find. So a sign that says beginning of Papaaloa Road might be helpful. Yeah. Yeah. So Linda has a good question. It's a safety concern. So if you live in some place where it's hard to find, maybe you need better signage, please talk to Neil and then hit up our deputy chief fire. Thank you, Linda. Hey, how's it? Go ahead. You have a question? Okay, coming back to you after this.
My question is about maintenance. Our local Papaaloa tennis and pickleball courts were put in about 3.5 years ago. You guys did a beautiful job. Everybody's really enjoying those. What's happening though in the 3.5 years is they're starting to get moldy. So it was beautiful green. Now there's a lot of black. It looks like somebody might have cleaned the back corner one. I'm not sure, but the other ones need cleaning. And then I was told that they tried to do with just regular pressure washing in Hilo, but that ruined the surface. So more of like you've got to spray some type of bleach, mold killing, and then wash it off so you don't destroy the court. But is there a maintenance plan? Because those courts look like they need some maintenance.
Thank you. You guys got that, huh?
Thank you for the question. We'll have our guys take a look at the courts over there on the mold issues. I know we get some vandalism that happened over there recently where they broke the boards on the park side, right? So we went up to do a groundbreaking there, but wasn't aware of the issues that we have mold growing over there. So absolutely, we'll take a look at that and see how we can address it.
So people don't realize how important it's like. The Kauai mayor, I thought a Kauai mayor, I said, you do town halls. He go, oh, I don't like to do town halls. They end up on mess. Everybody start yelling and grumbling and, it just comes out just chaos. So if anybody has a question, you just got to come to the mayor's office. Like, oh, wow, our town halls has been fabulous. I mean, we're learning about, that saves a lot of meetings. You don't got to make a meeting. You don't have to call. Now Clayton knows that there's mold growing on the tennis court. He can fix that. Linda's going to get one sign now, so that if there's an emergency, we can find your house. Okay, brothers. Okay.
The double shocker.
Always the double shocker.
15 years ago, I came in the dream and we talk about the road and the boat ramp and everything. 15 years ago, and today, still same thing. So I hope we can talk about that, today and all, because we get boat, we go out fishing and all, and I think the Alameda boys will dive.
Yeah.
So you know how it is. So I just hope today we talk about
Okay. So the boat ramp, that's why I'm so happy that we get Matthias over there. And it's not the only boat ramp, Is this federal or state, Matthias? Oh, it's county? Oh, wow. Clayton, what's the matter?
I was here the last time too.
I thought the boat ramp was state. Okay.
So the Army Corps of Engineers right now, right, they pretty much have determined that to fix the boat ramp area, we got to fix the breakwater that is over there. So to stop the current from driving the rocks up and down the boat ramp, eroding the boat ramp, we got to take care of the breakwater. The breakwater is with the Army Corps of Engineers, the federal government. The price estimate for fixing the breakwater is about $30 million. Yeah. Yeah, but if we fix that floor and still the thing driving up the rocks up with it, up onto the ramp, you know, it's a challenge. Well, I remember before the boat ramp was facing Momalka before with the plantation, right? And never have the problem with the erosion, right? So I understand that, you know. I totally understand the concern about the boat ramp altogether. It's an act of getting the funding. It's not my fault the boat ramp never get fixed, though. Not Hilo, Pohiki is digging that. But I saw Army Corps of Engineers. That one is they're only digging the gravel out of that and making one pathway. That is not making that's not making one breakwater over there at all for the boat ramp. So the breakwater is a big concern for one. The boat ramp too is another concern that is ours, but you know. Yeah, we can have a conversation after.
Yeah. It is about the money. To be honest, it is about the money. Yeah, if you guys can help us find money, tell us where to look, what kind of grants to apply, and we're very much willing to do that. And we struggle. We are financially in trouble, and the Fed's not helping. They're cutting everything. So we're struggling. But they're not gonna stop us from trying. Okay, we're working, you gotta wait, we're working our way down, so I'm coming down there. Hold on, okay, go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So the question is, food security. What is the federal government, where they at on, will SNAP benefits be cut? I mean, you know, that's, what is your name? Ms. Lewis is asking.
Well, thank you, Ms. Lewis. We don't have a crystal ball, and as we've seen, there's been a lot of gyrations with this administration's. So it's really difficult to predict. The legislature has scheduled several special sessions to try and address any Medicaid or SNAP reductions. We did budget $200 million cushion to help offset any cuts at the state level. But it's a really complex issue, and we just don't know what's going to happen, right? Nothing's happened yet. This bill that they're trying to put through hasn't gone anywhere, went to the Senate, now it's back to the House. There's been a lot of action, so it's hard to say what will happen. But there is some buffers put in place. We also passed some bills this year in the Agriculture Committee, which I sit on as a vice chair, to make more food hubs and farm produce available to those food hubs. So there's steps being taken. You may not see them right away, but there's a lot of eyes on the matter.
Yeah, also, when we went to DC, Bill and I, you know, we asked about the budget, right? President's budget. So Brian Schatz and our congressional delegation, Ed Case, Jill Tokuda, Mazie Hirono, they said that they're going to fight hard because that's not an end. It's not an end all right now, the president's budget. That they get about a couple weeks to really dissect it, fight for what they believe we need, and food security is something that they're going to fight hard for. You know, the SNAP benefits and the Section 8 housing. They're going to make sure, and Medicaid. Yeah. Okay, working our way down. Okay, yes, ma'am. Laupahoehoe swimming pool, Candace, go ahead.
However, the showers inside the locker room are not functioning, and the sinks are working, the toilets are working. Perhaps a small pipe could be installed at a low price so that people could actually shower before we off.
Okay, so the shower.
And shower before.
Okay. So the question is, so they're grateful with the Laupahoehoe pool. By the way, I have a bone to pick with the state. Sorry, Matthias, but you know all these pools, especially at the high schools, like a part of me feels like the DOE should help us out. I mean, that's the Konawaena High School pool. I mean, they're using a lot of our, it's like somehow we got to bear the burden of all the pool situation. I mean, I can see Kawamoto pool, that's county. But Laupahoehoe, Konawaena, Kohala, so, but it is what it is. So the shower, is that also, is that?
We could take a look at it as well too. Thank you for that. So, what? So the showers you cannot use at all then, okay. Yes, but inside of yeah, both on the men's and the women's side? Okay, we'll take a look into that. Okay, thank you.
For a couple of years, that tells me the other administration never do nothing either then. I gotta tell you, hey, we did more in 6 months than prior administrations has done in 6 years. And that I can tell you for a fact. So that's why I'm proud of this. This is a really good team we got over here. Okay, I'm working my way. Yes, sir. You can go there and then come here. Hi, John. Yeah. I haven't come here for so long, so I don't know. I mean, I already got scolded by Aunty saying we got to fix the floor, so.
Again, we've got it's another facility that is ours that is pretty old that we got to address, right? I mean, our staffing, we only have a minimum staffing of maybe 3 carpentry cabinet makers that come out of Hilo. They gotta cover island-wide, things that gotta be addressed. I only get 2 plumbers and 2 electricians out of Hilo covering facilities island-wide. We've added personnel, we've added facilities in Kea'au, down in Pahoa, parks out there, down in Waimea, up in Mauna Kea, but we've never added that staff. This administration has allowed us to get additional staff, building maintenance workers, 3 on the other side of the island so that we can have better coverage island-wide. So we will take a look at the facilities like this and address them. We're putting a work order system into place as we speak. Today we had meetings as far as work orders go. We're going to take away all of the work orders that we had before in the past, start fresh, start anew, get a work order system going so that we can address those work orders as they come up. So stuff that's going to pop up over here, at least we know that it's going to be addressed in some point in time. I don't know when, but I know we're going to start getting those stuff done. So getting the positions is one thing. We're adding another plumber, another electrician, another equipment operator, and 2 more painters. So we've added on like about 9 more positions in this fiscal year coming up, starting July. So after July, we went out to recruitment, getting more positions to address maintenance concerns and issues, and we'll have a new work order system that we're starting up in place. We got to work out the bugs, but we're going to get them started.
And we doubled their budget for maintenance. So that should help too. This is another request for the state. Like you get Laupahoehoe gym, right? The high school gym. Just like you get the Hilo High gym, right? And so for example, in Hilo, you have like the Andrews gym, but the county kind of runs it. So we share. So like we share our pools, but they don't share their gyms. So it would be nice if Laupahoehoe High School could open their gyms to the community. It'd be nice if Hilo High School could open their gyms to the community. Like why? Like no gym door should be closed, right? A gym door that's closed to me is a wasted opportunity. And in the Kea'au administration, he had a real good relationship with the state. And they opened their doors. And so it doesn't matter county or state. It doesn't matter county gym, state gym, right? We should be able to work together to get kids off the streets and playing. So I have something I want to work with the state on that, and that is let's share facilities. Okay, Pam.
Well, this is a question for the police chief. So I understand that the county council recently approved a motion to co-locate ICE agents with the police department. And I'm just wondering how that is working and what are the protocols around, any kind of cooperation that's happening with the police department and ICE. And
are the agents here? Has it happened?
Chief, thank you.
Sure. So there are two. So in the Department of Homeland Security, there's all kinds of different agencies, right? So there's ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And then there's a separate agency, which is kind of side by side with ICE, which is HSI. HSI is Homeland Security Investigations. So we have had an HSI agent and an analyst on island working with the police department for over a decade. And the work that we do with the HSI agent and with the HSI analyst, and I think there's a total of 2 people here from HSI that we are co-located with us and have been, again, for over a decade. They help us with drug interdiction stuff. They help us with taking care of violent felons, that state law is maybe inadequate and federal laws are better. And they help us with federal partnerships when we have a crime that maybe doesn't fall under the state statute, but the federal statute is much better for us to investigate and to prosecute someone and to keep them away from the community. So we do have 2 HSI partners that are here. They're here most of the time. They may be off island occasionally for other things. So this process about the MOU and the county council. So the police department for 70, 80 years had not gotten any of our MOUs approved by county council, which is what the state law says. State law says, look, if you want to have an MOU with a federal partner, you can, but you got to have it approved by the county council first. So one of the things that we did right around the time that Mayor Kea'au took over was we went through and we looked at all those MOUs and we sent them all to county council at once because we hadn't done it for 80 years. And that's, we could talk about the why later on, but so of those 80 or so MOUs, 77 of them went through, and the other 3 got held on, and we had some hearings because people were concerned, and rightfully so, right? So one of those had to do with the FBI and what they call a Safe Streets Task Force, and what that agreement does is allows us to take a Hawaii County Police Department officer and have that person also be what's called a task force officer with the FBI. So a TFO, or task force officer. And basically what that task force officer does is they remain a county employee. They work for us every day. They come to work at the police department every day, but they also have federal authority. And that federal authority is very narrowly limited by the MOU. So in this case, the FBI task force officer can only investigate, it's Title 18 and Title 19 of the US Code, which is like Hobbs Act robberies and fentanyl cases where we can go after the dealer who sold the fentanyl to the person who died. Things like that. That MOU and our MOUs with HSI specifically prohibit us, the police department, from engaging in immigration enforcement. So so we have a FBI TFO MOU. It's a lot of letters, but I think you got it. All right. So we have one with the FBI, and then we have 2 that are with HSI. One of them allows their 2 agents to sit in our vice section in Hilo and share office space. It says that they can have 2 desks and a locked filing cabinet to keep their files. The other MOU that we have with HSI allows us to have TFOs, task force officers with HSI, and I think we currently have 5. There's 2 in the Hilo side and 3 in the Kona side. And they work with our HSI partners to do that work that I talked about earlier. It's drug interdiction, it's human trafficking, human smuggling, violent crime type stuff. And all of our MOUs specifically prohibit us and exclude us, the police department, from doing immigration enforcement. We've never done immigration enforcement. We don't do it now. As long as I'm the chief, we're not going to do immigration enforcement. That's the federal government's authority. It's their kuleana. We're powerless to, within reason, they can do their thing, but we're not going to participate in the active enforcement part.
There you go.
Sorry. With the echo, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
What is the information protocol exchange of information? Is that prohibited too?
So we do not, so that one's kind of tricky. So there's federal statutes that prohibit anyone, the county, the state, and you can like it, you can disagree with it, you can love it, but that prohibit law enforcement agencies from communicating with HSI and with ICE. As a normal routine, we don't do it. At the same time, though, our commitment to transparency is such that every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, we publish on our website that anybody can go to, hawaiipolice.gov, you can go on there and see all the people who were charged with crimes the last 72 hours. That's available for you. It's available for John Burnett, the intrepid reporter in Hilo, and it's available publicly. So nothing prevents them from looking at that information and trying to put some links together. But that's not our officers that are doing it. And it's actually, honestly, 99% of the time, not those two HSI agents either. It's ICE proper that's looking at things from all around the place.
Okay.
That make sense? Sorry, long answer to
No,
short
so
question. but
I
thank you.
think what your question basically is a statement like, are we collaborating with ICE in participating, right, in the whole immigration thing? And what you're hearing is that we're not. Yeah. Okay. Okay, back there, yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Question was, hurricane season, what is the county doing to prepare the community? And is there signage in the area if something happens? And do we have shelters? So, okay, what we doing, hurricane season, what are we doing for give information to the community? Are there shelters and signage? Okay, tell me, 3 questions.
See if I can remember them. So the first thing we did is we made sure that the county was ready. So we brought the county leadership in to have the National Weather Service briefing as far as the forecasts for the season. We have our discussions, our preparations. We push that information out to the public as well. All the information is on our website for folks to look at it's called a Ohana 360 guide, basically your plans to make preparations to be ready. Because on this island, we don't focus on hurricane season as much as we focus on the whole year, because we're vulnerable year round. Tsunami, earthquakes, fires, we can get it 365 days a year. Hurricane season is just another period we gotta make sure we're ready for. So, the readiness thing is, we're always pushing that. You gotta make sure that you can receive our messages so that you can take action on the plan that you develop for yourself.
Are you signed up? Tell them about the sign up, because I get those messages all the time. Hey, there's a fire, you got that too? Okay. Okay, so, and we have information in the back. So that answers the first question. Second question, shelters.
And the brochures right there, the hurricane brochures.
Tell me.
The front one, make sure you grab one of those.
Second question, shelters.
Shelters. So we team up during hurricane season with Department of Education for their classroom facilities. So if we've got to go into wind-resistant structures, DOE will let us know what areas, and we'll look at the forecast, what areas are going to get impacted on the island. So if Hamakua is getting impacted, we'll work with DOE to designate which classrooms are available.
Do we use the Laupahoehoe school as a shelter?
Yeah, so they are still yet a DOE facility. So we're working, side note, we're working with State Emergency Management, and they have a project for the multi-purpose room. Used to be the band room up there, I guess. But that's going to be a designated shelter once that project goes through. But right now, county has no wind-resistant shelters in Hamakua, Laupahoehoe, but DOE does.
So we partner?
Yes.
How about signage? Like, how do you know where to go?
So the way you get the information is through our alerts, because we generally don't open all the shelters. So when the time comes to open up shelters, we'll put out word what shelters are going to be open. We'll designate through our messaging. So Everbridge puts out messages, text, email, Facebook, X, phone call, landline or cell phone, text, email. Did I say that already? But yeah, so you got to make sure you're getting the message one of those ways. And that's how we push out what shelters.
Thank you, Talmadge. All right. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. The tax break. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Sam said he get 8, almost a little bit under, almost 9 acres, and then he like qualified for the ag exemption or the tax exemption, and they said, you don't qualify because you get less than 10. Okay, so we have Lisa, she's part of our finance division, property division, real property tax. Lisa?
Hi, so I'm thinking that's for the dedicated program. That was lowered to 5 acres. So did you come in last year? That got changed. Yeah, no, it's 5 acres for pasture. It's even less for all the other programs. I have the handouts here that show the 5 acres and I can give it to you. Dedicated you want? Okay, I got them.
Wow, solving problems already. Okay, Thomas. Yes, good question. Thomas asks, is anybody working to restore the direct flights? We have an international airport in Hilo and Kona. None of them is direct international, and some of them not even direct to the mainland. So that's pretty bad, yeah. Any thoughts on that, Matthias?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We have been looking at a couple of things and working with the airlines, and the biggest impediment, surprisingly, is we don't have enough hotel or lodging in East Hawaii. That's why they won't bring the planes in. So one of the things we've been working on is trying to redevelop and kind of uplift Banyan Peninsula. And part of that plan is to add another hotel as we decommission some of these older buildings that are beyond their lifespan. So with that, I forget what they call it in tourism lingo, but having rooms is what'll drive the air carriers to bring in mainland flights.
That's
Unfortunately,
true.
it's kind of a chicken and an egg thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we did talk to Alaska Airlines and Japan Airlines even, because Japanese are a big tourist group, and so they just about fixed Kona Airport so that direct flight from Japan, I think, can be restored. And it's true story, yeah. So they said, but it's chicken or the egg, because when I asked the hotel folks, hey, when you guys going, any investors wanna tackle Banyan Drive and invest in Nanaloa or maybe Uncle Billy's and build a new hotel? And they said, well, we don't like build a new hotel if we don't have direct flights. So it's like it is a chicken or the egg, because the flights guys say, well, we don't like to have direct flights if we don't want hotel. Well, somebody got to take a step, and you know what I mean? So that's our challenge. Okay, we're going backwards a little bit. Go. No worries. Okay. 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 Erosion. Because too much water. Okay, what is the name of the street again? Māmalahoa Homestead Road. Neil, Māmalahoa Homestead Road. Yeah. All you gotta do to the Public Works is just you gotta say the issue, and then Neil will make note of it, and it'll be on the list. And I gotta tell you, in the past 6 months, Public Works has not failed us. Might not address immediately, but they'll get to it. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. If can, no can, something. So at least you know, Right. And if can, right. Like I said, some of these things, if it's low-hanging fruit, we can do it. Keaʻau is a good example. Right? They're there, they paved it, it's tomorrow gonna be done. Some things like boat harbors and these other issues that don't cost in the millions of dollars, then we gotta be made. That's the first time I'm made aware of the boat harbor. I didn't know about that. So now I know, and that's why we gotta come out to these meetings, right? Like Clayton knew about the boat harbor. I didn't know about the boat harbor. I didn't even know that was county. So now I know. Because one is in Hilo is state, so it depends. That's why we're here. So, okay, working my way down. Yes, sir. Oh, go ahead. Bada Bobby. And then you can go. Yeah. Okay.
state county matter and
Okay.
throughout 4 administrations ago. And it's something that I've been thinking far down the line is that you take Hilo all the way out to Honokaʻa. And this is regarding the highways there where the state of Kona. You take distance from Hilo to Honokaʻa is about 60 miles. Give or take. Okay? The response you get from state or county workers is relatively how they reach to a certain given project. But to cut down the drive time or the so-called working time on site, I was thinking, and I took a ride over to Kakalau. Got the Kakalau gym in the back, you get the state school system. Went up to the state and counted highways, base yard there to whatever is called locally. Most of them were locked in with these three zones. And along the Laupahoehoe Hilo area, that's the biggest landslide area on the island.
I got you. So not a base yard. A base yard so we get quicker response.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know it's probably like 8
Yeah.
years down the line,
But, right. That's good.
it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Along with civil defense.
Mm-hmm.
We, at this time, we don't have plantation that's used to respond to this kind of emergency.
Mm-hmm.
It's all depending on the government.
Right, right.
We gotta try.
Good.
And you know, you can't do administration.
That's what I heard too. We can. We're an administration of yes. We try to say yes first before we say no. So, yeah. Yeah.
How the community, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
can help
Yeah.
their input and get the ball rolling.
Thank you, Bobby.
Before I die.
Yeah, me too. Before we all die. Some of these projects, it takes generations. No, but that's true story. You know, so we've done just adding workers on the Kona side for PNR, for maintenance is big already. I mean, this administration has taken some bold moves right off the bat. And why other administrations driving their workers electricians from Hilo all the way to Kona to work every day don't make sense. Right. 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 Why not just have a base yard there? No, base yard.
Yeah, got it. So actually, that's what we're going to do with Puna, Upper and Lower Puna, because they got to go all the way to Curtis Town. They got to respond to Kalapana. That's about an hour away, and it's too long. So we split that in half, make Upper and Lower Puna, like this one to get North Hilo and Hamakua. Split that, split that, make them in either Laupahoehoe or Hakalau Gym. Yeah. Exactly, right there. That's why Hilo help out whenever Hamakuno can. Hilo come out here. Yeah, got it.
That's a good idea.
But thank you, Bobby.
Your brother, go ahead.
All right, shows up there. I brought up this question. You know the bathrooms down here, down at the beach park? There's a lot of maintenance that have to be done. I used to work for Waikōloa before. Because of uneven surfaces, we have a mean suit job down there. And go down there and go take a look at the women's bathroom. Right when you make the turn for going to the toilets, the cement is all uneven. Somebody can fall down, hit their head, and you know where they're going to end up. It's the same thing like the men's bathroom on the other side. I don't know about the women's side. I didn't go over there. I don't go in women's bathroom. But the men's bathroom down there is terrible. Yeah, right down there.
Okay, it's easy for look. Right after this, we'll take a look. We'll take a look.
You know, there are plenty other things I like bring up, but you tell one question. So.
Maybe we're going to come back. We might maybe get a chance.
Yeah, hopefully you come back.
Okay, we might come back. Question, sir.
I'm Alan Fukumizu. I'm a wastewater operator and a union steward for the guys. I spoke with you in Oahu with opening day of State Ledge as far as open communication with the directors, especially regarding safety issues and issues that affect the public as far as wastewater spills. How should we address that directly with your administration.
Yeah, so I think that's why we get the 30 minutes after. So I strongly encourage you to talk to Wes, or you can talk to Craig and voice their concern just like that, yeah.
The issue is I've tried.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll follow up on that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, you guys was very good. This side is super patient. Okay, now we're hitting this side over here. All right. Anybody on this lane? Okay, go. We're coming to you.
Oh, and you're going to give me the mic.
No, I'm gonna hold the mic. I learned my lesson in giving mics. I give the mic, no, come back. So now I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold the mic. Okay, go. Give me a question. One question.
One question. Oh my gosh, you're going to limit me to one.
We can come back if you need time to think.
My issue is for the state, actually, and it's in regards to a bridge in Ocala that was promised to be replaced probably 25 years ago. We replaced one of two very dangerous bridges when Dwight Tuckamini was in office, and we did not ever get the second one, and it was promised to the community. It never was done. That's my one big state thing.
Okay, thank you. So I'm assuming the Banana Bridge was the one that was replaced you were talking about? Oh, okay. Anyway, please see me
the
after.
two bridges right in a row at the bottom of the hill before you go up to the straight stretch that goes to the Banana Bridge.
Oh, okay. Please see me afterwards. DOT has been very responsive, whether you have line of sight issues, like it's probably the things that I've been most successful as a new legislator getting done is crosswalks and blinking lights in Pepeʻekeo, speed humps in Papaiko, getting signs replaced, cleaned. You know, we're working on a Honokaʻa village sign right now to help advertise Honokaʻa town. And so they're very responsive, and I'm sure I could at least update you. That's all federally driven bridges, so we can for sure get that straightened out.
Yeah, bridges, and there's so much bridges, and some of them is kind of shaky, so that's a good question. Anybody on this line? How about this second line? Oh, brother, wait, he's got a question.
Yeah, it's about our transfer station in Pawilo, where we throw away rubbish. It's open only 3 days a week. Community is big. Now I find out we're getting health hazard because guys is piling rubbish outside. The rats is getting to them, cats is getting to them. I have concern of that because before it was open 7 days a week, day and night. One caretaker, Honokaʻa, Pawilo, Laupahoehoe, 2 truck drivers, and they did them. Now it's only 3 days. Plus, they get allotted, they let you take, if you're on piece wire, one small piece iron, you cannot throw them. You gotta go to a different district throw them. They passed a law, why not put one in our place? Why we gotta go someplace else and dump them? I mean, we was dumping them there on the ground before, now they say you cannot put on container. But it's getting bad. And, you know, I can see if they can open them 7 days a week, nighttime close them. Because nighttime is when the illegal guys go fill up the dumpsters. You know, that I can see. I wonder if something can be done about it.
Right. It's kind of what I said earlier. Like, if we can get it's like COVID came and everybody forgot that COVID's power. And so, you know, how come we can't get back to pre-COVID hours? And so that's why we hired finally got a solid waste chief. And so that's one of his primary goals is to see how we can staff all of our transfer stations. So I'm glad you brought up that. Because here's the deal, right? Hey, you go for cherry rubbish, it's closed. You know, like, I mean, the nice guy's gonna drive Hilo maybe. And some guys are gonna be like, I don't have time for that. I just gonna throw them, right? And it's happening already. So we hear you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, brother man, go ahead.
Okay, at the Honokaʻa Sports Complex, there's an archery target in the grass. We asked if somebody could clean the place so that we could go shoot targets, because there's no place else to shoot. We go up the arena, the guys grumble it, our bows make too much noise. I asked if they go clean the place, and I got the no from the county that they're not gonna clean it, and can somebody tell me why?
Okay, so Honokaʻa used to have an archery right up the Honokaʻa Sports Complex. Oh, I didn't know that. Competition and all, and tournaments. Wow. Hey, do you remember that or any thoughts?
No, actually, I've never heard of the archery targets in Honokaʻa Sports Complex, but you know, who talked to me? Who is that?
Who's that?
Who's the
Jamie.
boss that runs the Honokaʻa? Shane.
You know, we'll make note of that.
Yeah, I don't think we get on supervisor right now that runs it complex because that position has been vacant ever since I started up back in December. But used to be that used to be Jamie, right? Cavallo, it was a supervisor there, right? But one of the reasons that might be is because the archery shoot, you need some kind of backing behind them. So if you got backing behind there, we can take a look see. But I don't know what grass you're talking about. If it's it's by the is it by the track field that is over there? And which way is the target's facing? It's facing on the Waimea side of the track field on the Mauka side then? Okay, and where do you stand to shoot and how far and what is the distance you can shoot in if the grass is going to be cleared over there? How many yards? 20 yards? 20 yards? Okay.
I love this kind of opportunity.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean
that, yeah.
If we can get better use of the park, we in favor of all forms of recreation as long as it's safe, you know. So we can talk story on that. But I never had a conversation with anybody in regards to archery shooting over there. I remember in Puʻilani you said archery shooting we had on target before.
Honokaʻa's one was a liability and also Panieva, so we're going to shut them down. So this is what it is. So back in the 90s when Hamakua Archery Club was active, I was part of them. And as the Joaquins all got older and started to pass on, the archery clubs, I don't want to say nothing because I don't come here to roast nobody. But what's the frustration is when it comes to outdoor sports, the kids are not necessarily because they're not introduced to it. Basketball, soccer, volleyball, all those other things are getting the monies. All we're asking is for one small stuff that built 4 years back that's there with the grass. So he went down and he went to go and ask. The gentleman down there, we waited 3 weeks. Just so happened I was going to go down there and ask the individual what's going on. Because I went to check if the grass was cut. Because I went to go see if we could do it ourselves to go maintain it. Well, he said, Clayton said no, and it's because of a liability issue. That's the reason why I sat there, and I didn't want to really say, but I was going to say this. Every day we go as a public servant, including myself working for the state of Hawaii, it's a liability. The moment you jump in your car, your work vehicle, address, any type of town hall, it's a liability. We cannot just live and be afraid of liability. As a mayor, as a governor, as a representative here for the state of Hawaii, taking Mark's place, we all got to take, like he said, moving forward. So it didn't sound right to me, but I never.
Well, I'm going to just tell you this. I never say no to nothing. I'm going to just tell you the truth right here.
Somebody.
In front of everybody. I never say no and have a conversation with anybody in regards to archery, bro. I know you, Wes. I know you. You and I grew up together. I know that. But I'm not going to say no to anybody about that kind of stuff unless I consult with people in the community and everything else. So I'm not opposed to any form of recreation, like I told you.
So who's the So you don't know the supervisor's name though? Oh, okay. Okay, so check this. So right. So sounds like we have an opportunity. Clayton's always open. We're an administration of yes.
I never say no to anything.
So right. Thank you, Clay. Hey, my mic guy. You're not doing your job. No.
Multitasking.
Multitasking. Okay, here.
I would just like to know if there's an official answer to the bridge that's being repaired right now between Papaloa Gym and Papaloa Store. There's a long extended story around it. I think it was federal, then state. Now it's in the county's hand, I hear. Does anybody know the ETA for that to be finished?
Is this another bridge?
November.
Whose route? Okay, so your county?
Yes.
And you're now in charge of that repair?
Yes.
So it looks like attention's getting to it. I'm just wondering, it's been a year. I'm wondering if November is a good,
November, they said November is good,
okay.
and I'll make sure that it's good.
It's just clogging up some works for my son, the store there.
Okay, we're working our way down. You just don't use your statement, but. Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's a state or county or whose power it is, but I'm pretty sure everybody went to the mainland and traveled around the place. I was wondering, how far-fetched would it be to have comfort stations along this highway?
You mean like bathrooms? Yeah.
Hilo and Honokaʻa to Kona, because, or is there a way to make people that sell fuel and stuff to actually have the bathrooms for the people?
Right. Hey, so let me just say this. So we're a bathroom administration because right now get so much bathrooms that is broken. Okay, Waihinu's bathroom broken. We get 8 bathrooms right now that we budgeted. Okay, because you're talking about adding bathrooms. We gotta fix bathrooms. And the prior administrations has never fixed bathrooms. And I never grew up with potties. I don't remember growing up with potties. So, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they used to let you use bathroom. Right? Big Island, we used to let everybody use bathroom. But guess what happened? Right. Guess what happened? Our homeless people are scaring our business people. That's what had happened. So our environment has changed. The fabric of our communities have changed. And so the business people, they're scared that anybody stranger use their bathroom. So now it's like, no can use bathroom. Minute stop, how much times I stop? Oh, you can use bathroom. So it's, yeah. So we first of all, when it comes to bathrooms, we get plenty of bathrooms that we got to fix that is broken. To add a bathroom, it's close to $1 million, believe it or not, the price. So, yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. I hear you. Wesley, you live here, Clayton live here, I live here, I get 7 kids, you gotta hold your shishi, I gotta hold my shishi. We all gotta struggle in this. It's not like all of a sudden, because we work for the county, we know more your problems. We have your problems. But believe me, this administration, because we have your problems and we committed to this island, look at us. One of the questions I ask is, I don't care where you're gonna be born. I don't care where you're born. Because most of us, 48% of us not born on this island anyway. But Wesley, I do wanna know where they're gonna die. Because if you committed to this place and you're gonna die here, that means you committed. So I have a committed administration. We're doing the best we can, better than any other administration. And I can promise you that because I've been in other administrations. So you're not gonna get better than this. So all I ask for you is patience. Patience. Thank you. Okay, I'm working my way up here. Thank you, Wesley. You went over your quota.
Hi, I'm Paul Ogren from Papaloa. Some of you know the French philosopher Voltaire, who once said, "The best is the enemy of the good."
Right.
And after listening to Clayton earlier, explaining that we weren't actually going to have a fixed boat ramp because we needed another $30 million to fix the breakwater.
Right.
Hell, you could hire Louis Nebrega for $1 million and it'd be done next year, and that's the truth. It would be good, not perfect. And if we demand perfection, there are a lot of things that never happen. For example, the planning department. You do a very fine job making sure we have standards for our housing. But the truth is we have a huge housing shortage here on this island and in this state, and you keep enhancing the standards.
Right.
And you keep increasing the cost. The best is the enemy of the good. Good would be lower cost, imperfect, but good housing for a lot of people.
With you, Paul. We're with you on that. So Jeff is not raising the standard. So let me tell you how the building codes work. They go from the international, the feds, then it comes to the state. Yesterday, we had 2 of our representatives go to Honolulu and fight to reduce the standards. We're telling the people, we're not building to Florida standards. It's not Florida, we're tropical. We're an administration that's trying to deregulate, because you're absolutely correct. You're preaching to the choir. We agree with you.
Are you telling me that the county does not have building standards?
We are responding to standards that's from the state.
I know, but you don't have to embrace those standards. You choose those at the county.
Not all of it, not all of it, not all of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is, sir.
And it depends, and it also depends.
Make housing unaffordable, and it makes no
Right,
sense.
I'm with you. We're with you on that, Paul. Yeah, we're with you on that. It is unaffordable. I got 7 kids. They're all living with me now because they cannot find a place to live on their own. Again, Paul, your problems is our problems. So you're speaking our language. Thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you. Okay, working our way.
Quick one to you, sir. Right now, the governor suspended, every so many years, the feds mandate that the states update their building codes, and then the individual jurisdictions can kind of upscale them or downscale them. And the state decided to suspend the newest version of the building code just because it's so onerous. And to your point, everybody gets it. It's a complex thing. And I know this administration really is working hard to kind of de-escalate kind of the crazy building codes and the things that jam up our housing. And it's just a slow process. You'll see action.
Yeah, and I'm glad to hear what you're saying, because that's what we're saying too. So we speak in the same language. Tor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Tori Kellner. I'm the Program Manager of Traffic Services at the Hawaii Police Department. This is a plug and a question to the community. We, for 10 years, have been looking for school crossing guards in Honokaʻa. If anybody's interested in a part-time job, please get a hold of me at Traffic Services there, and I'll help you even fill out the application.
Thank you so much. Oh man, I love these town halls. Right? We're not going to solve everybody's problem, but at least we're hearing it, right? And at least we can connect with you, Wesley, Tony. Like, we're going to think about that archery. That's a good point. Not everybody play basketball, baseball, right? Thank you for that. And Paul hit the nail on the head. We do have an affordable housing situation. We're with you on that. Thank you for speaking our language. And you're right. We got to open up to pre-COVID. People just going to throw their rubbish around. Thank you for that. Okay. And yeah, you got to have 10 acres. You can have 5 acres, and now you can, you know what I mean? So like, we're solving problems right here, right now by just listening to you guys. So thank you. We almost finished this whole group now. I'm over here. Right there. Kim.
I just wanted to add on to our neighbor. We also live on Māmalahoa Homestead Road above the low water crossing. My understanding is that is one of the roads in limbo. It is in desperate need of repair. We are also, Mauka, the top of that road is blocked by a locked gate. So we are one way in, one way out. We are trapped. If there's a fire, if there is flooding, we're stuck. So we just want that on somebody's radar. So.
Neil, is that on your radar? Is that a state?
This county.
County, okay.
Yeah, so we work with you, sir.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, one of the my only bill this year that passed that I really worked hard for was a roads in limbo bill. It just was signed into law, Act 200. So it allows the county now to make repairs without conferring ownership. And I know that sounds kind of confusing, but this is like the #1 email I get every day is roads. So we try to address it, and it'll help the county address some of these things. It'll also help the state try and step in where it can. And
so what he's saying is state and counties working together on the roads. So now we're not having all these jurisdiction issues. Thank you, Matthias. All right, right here.
Question. I walk down this road on the weekends. Just wanted to ask if there's any plans of improvements on the road, because there's a couple areas where there are cracks and some uneven areas.
Very good, Aunty. Strategic, I have the meeting over here. Everybody's still at that. Neil, Neil and Clayton, the most popular in our on our cabinet so far.
I didn't come down here a long time. When I drove down, I talked to Ernest, the overseer out here, who come out here and clean the shoulders and stuff. But for the slippage, I'll talk to the engineer and see when we can put that out. I've been on my scope since 10 years ago, ever since I joined the county. But then I'll probably put out a tree trimming, clean up the Mauka side, all on the whole bank. So we'll put up a bid this year out there. Thank you.
You put out a bid for that. And Ernest Batacan, he's still working for the county, Neil. Is that Ernest Batacan? Yes. Wow. Hey, too good. These guys, they keep working hard, boy. Okay, so let me think. Wait, we got the bathrooms that we got to go fix because they're all uneven. Somebody going to fall down. That's one Sue's job. So we get that. We got to go figure that out. We got to get maybe one substation or something in the middle for Bobby, making sure that at least so the response can be faster. Okay? We get it. Making notes over here. Only Aunty I give the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for coming, because I would have looked low if nobody came. But it's a beautiful turnout, and thank you for voicing your opinion. Thank you for Papaʻaloa Gym. We just had groundbreaking, and I went down there on my way here to see what's going on, because I want all this beautiful weather to be utilized to get that play court done. Thank you. And thank you for acknowledging that it was done before he got into office, but he was there to see that it came through. And thank you, PNR, Dr. Clayton. My biggest thing, you all came down this road, yeah? And it was just talked about. We have to put it on our priority list to get this road fixed. This park is our pico, yeah? And if you come down here on any weekend, like Memorial Weekend, this park was piha, full, with people, families here, pavilions all taken, tents put up. It was full. But this road needs to be taken care of. And it's falling down on the ocean side. And so maybe from Waipunalei to where it ends facing the ocean, we really got to look for money. And it's going to take a lot of money to do it. County, state, federal. So please, I brought it up last year when Mitch was here. Change administration, I don't know where that thing went. But we have to look at it seriously. Because if we lose that, the other side is closed already, many years. So please look at that. I get plenty more stuff, but I'm going to keep it to one. And I'd like to thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Aunty. Hey, we started at 5:30, and it's 6:40. And so I'd like to leave 20 minutes for you guys to hit up. We got civil defense, finance, we got HR, employment application kind of stuff. So if you guys like, we get parks. You guys know we get water questions. You get questions for our planning department, Paul, you can hit them up over there, Jeff. Again, public works, state questions. So Corp Counsel is our attorneys. They're our attorneys. We got environmental management. We got sustainability. We got IT, housing. Nobody had a housing question, or you had one, okay. We get transportation, any transportation questions, you can talk to Zach, police questions, and fire questions. So now's your time to hit them up directly. Thank you so much, everybody. Please help yourself with food. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Aloha.